Katiba ka Kenya mwaka wa 2010 kasiye serikali cia mutiuko ile itongoiwe ni Ungavana. Kubikia bau ni tamwili bitite ungu wa serikali cia mutiuko. Waleti na unyubani wa mwaka huu mangavana miongona na muonzame kuendesha uthukumi maunduni ma mutiuko. Maundu amwe alama nengeto serikali cia mutiuko ni pamona uimi, uiti, kisomo cha ECD na kiubundi, kiu na malelo. Kati wa mangavana miongona na muonza alama likile uyani dhini watamu amumone ndiyambe kuosa ubisi wa Ungavana ulani ubisi munene ukwenda utuika wa utongoi kuungamia kuthukumana ene yandake wathukanio kuungamana ulumu na kuumia mautume na vinya komana kila mangavana ayo umetele kukomana nacho nini kalilende na mangavana 11 alama mbie serikali cia mutiuko na maminite kuthukuma tamu ile ino ni ingawa ya Mwakenya wa Ungavana. Serikali cia mutiuko inenga wa kilungu chia 15 yuloa yana cha budget ya Kenya mwaka ni wa 2021 ile county si kwa shilingi bilioni maana 3.7 kuma kwa budget ya shilingi trillion 3.33 Kenya yonthe. Kimanza ki necho kiba mesala na ndipingisi ya kila ibinda serikali ni cia mutiuko kana recurrent expenditure pamona kweka maendeleo ene ndingi mesila kana serikali cia mutiuko nitonya 10 na mathina mo onthe kwa ibinde kubi nundu county ni serikali ya ndwani na yene ilobia mbingi kwena na ula wa Ungavana wa county ya Trans Nzoia Patrick Kaemba isilia yini mwakati wa mathina alama Ngavana eu mailete kuyumbanisia.
Here the expectations of people are so high. Now we have a governor, they want everything instantly. Yeah. Because they thought they had been made to believe governor has brought the money, he has a lot of money. It's going to tackle everything instantly.
Serikali nene ikwata ilobia malaana kwa mwaka kana quarterly basis. Indi serikali cia county ikwata ilobia nini kwa mwei na kiine kisi ya mangavana aingi kuikamelati minene. Pamwana kwa makosanithia na anakandalasi nondo wa kwa maiba nusu kendo kila kituma melati ya maendeleo iungama.
Counties receive funds on a monthly basis, while national government receives on a quarterly basis. That means that you are paying your contractors small little amounts of money until you finish paying them. If the contractors are living from hand to mouth, like some of them are doing in the counties that we are in, then you give them some little money, they go and do some little work. When the money ends, then they stall.
You spread this money so thin that you cannot capture all that you want. So if this money could be coming, might be quarterly, you could be handling very many issues.
Kuyanana na meo ya kukwata na kuthawasiendo va Kenya kana procurement laws isaso ya kunenga na kandalasi mobaka mulati wambe nitonda kukua bakubi miele kana itatu. Kuyanana na mangavana alama thukumete mwanyane uwa Ungavana kwa tamu ile ilobia cia county ni bikabati aleta masama wudhu mwaka wa serikali kana financial year uthele kendo kila kimanenga uito wa kuitumea. Ingi county siomba ni ilobia kwesila wosani wa koti siisa kuitumea ilobia ii imwe kwa imwe indi ninenga na ikinantuni cha county revenue fund wengine munene wa Kenya kana Central Bank of Kenya. Itina waki county nisiambia kwa ati ya ilobia ii kuisila kwa ula ungamia kinanduki kana controller of budget nikenda kutumia ilobia ii pala ilobia ii sikuwa ibinde ya soko betu kithwa na milati ili ya kukwatikana nena ya ambiye iungama.
One of our biggest setbacks for all the years I've been the governor of this country is the late disbursement.
Like those monies can be brought on 30th of June. That is the time they bring the money. Now, 30th June and the following day is another financial year.
On the left hand, we have a procurement law that says for you to advertise, to award a job, you need to advertise for 14 days. You need to do evaluations within 14 days. Then you award and wait for 14 days if there is any complaint. And then you sign the contract and give the contractor another 14 days to report to site. In total, you need about 3 months to get the contractor on the ground. Now, if you receive the money on 29th of June, Muema, yes. What do you do?
For the last 2 years, the budget has been stationary in terms of county allocations at the national level.
We are collecting local revenue. But I am supposed to sweep that local revenue to the county revenue fund at Central Bank. then I begin asking for permission from the controller of budget to spend the money.
Umwe kati wa mauya manene ma mbunge ya county ni kuseubia na kupetukithia budget ya milati ile kwikwa ni serikali ya county. Mangavana na ma MCA mali ya kunena na wasia umwe isasaya kupetukithia budget ni paluka na maendeleo maili ya kukwatikana. Mavinda maingi ma MCA ni menda kwikwa maundu manane mangavana na mali ya kwikwa mayambe ise mutalatala kunguthula ngavana kuma kivilani. Mavindangi atongo ya mwene mwanga masike dhito cha mangavana kuthukuma mwene nthi kwa kwikia isi kipathukanio ta kuthika otini kwa masi ya kwika milati minene iletwa nyomonge la nguma sia kiuteti. Umwe wa mangavana alama kwatie thina uhu ni Alfred Mutua ula ona ingavana wa county ya Masako na Okotho bado ula ona ingavana wa county ya Migori. Kuthucho vo ithoko ni sumila countine imwito nya kwikia mathawi ma mangavana na ene yanda kipathukanio serikali ni sia county muisione. Kindu taki ni chekikie county ni ya Makueni ungua utongoi wa ulone ngavana wa county isu Professor Kivutha Kibwana wala wesa kuathona kisasi ailia kubikiwa india mwa mathukumi make maathona kuumiwa.
There was a time a budget would be passed 3 months to the end of the financial year so that you can hardly even start procuring and doing things like that. There was of course a time they wanted to impeach me because I said I will not tolerate corruption. The assembly wanted a lot of money, like $1 billion from about $5 billion.
The governors and MCAs may not read from the same script because of conflicting interests. And governors are apparently can easily face impeachment, which I faced because of competition for authority and resources.
There was a time there was a shootout in the assembly when we were there, and God really protected us, but my colleagues got hurt, shot hurt. I was at the center, somehow I wasn't shot hurt. But you could see that viciousness where people feel that you are denying them accessing county money, because they used to tell me that, you know, people in Nairobi are eating. Why are you not allowing us to eat here? The man has come here and now we should eat.
One of the biggest challenges, you'll find that the MCS also wanted these resources in their wards. They want to manage. So we had to create the Ward Development Fund, which made us spread our money so thin that we could not have big visible projects.
What we wanted to build up was a new city to bring in investments. But unfortunately, Senator Muthama went to court, and you know, my people can give you documents to show. He went to court and we got an injunction that really took away all these investors. We signed 2.1 trillion shillings for investors to come to Machakos, so it can even build a Machakos that is equal bigger than Nairobi.
Asungu maisi necessity is the matter of invention. Maundu moma mundu no mandhanzia ya kumololosia. Kumalia ma MCA na kunena na mama thina matambete kumela. Kuteta undu utonya kwenese mavata mo ute utula miao na kutumia utuika wa utongoi. Kana management skills ni mwesi anzia ila mangava na matumete kwa ilia unyanya wo na ma MCA kuipetangana na kunguthulwa budget kulia kupitukithwa na county kulia kukwata maendeleo.
All these people, what people need is continuous engagement, even if there is no issue. So you get them and tell, gentlemen, how are you, when a leader of a majority? How are you guys? They are one agenda. Okay. You guys, can we go to Mombasa? Because you know anyway, they want to go out. So you go there for 2-3 days because you read their mind. How are you? How is your ward? All people are saying like this. Na wewe, wajama wanazamaje? Iko hii challenge. Na wewe, iko na. So you go, you have quality time with them. You engage them. They tell you. Because anyway, they represent their words. And you must listen to them.
It is how you develop a relationship with the people more than anything else, and how you you ensure that their needs are met to the extent that you can.
And I normally challenge them that, look here, today when you go on strike, and tomorrow you come back, you want me to pay you for the work you had not done. Are you fair to your people?
As a governor, one of the expectations is that you are the CEO of the county. When you are the CEO of the county, you are supposed to invoke your financial management skills. You're supposed to invoke your program management skills. You're supposed to invoke your human resource management skills.
Kuyanana na mutalatala wakana wa katiba kanthi ya Kenya kana Schedule 4 of the Constitution of Kenya, uiti ni umwakati wa maundu ala manengetwe silikali sia county. Ona uyovo kilungu kinene cha ilobia sia uiti kubikia umunthi kionthini wa muvea wa uiti ungu wa silikali nene. Kwa kilungu kiasa masivitali maingi county ni sionthe miongona na muonza ni methitu na unyibu wa ndawa na siendu sia uiti. Kumana na unenani na mangavana mavinda maingi thina undumana na mangavana silikali sia county itho wa ndawa kuma muveane umwatu kemsa yeyoka ula kwena na mangavana uthowasia ndawa kwa ilobia mbingi vyu undu batailite na ute na utonyi wa kuthowasia ndawa kwa county sionthe va Kenya. Aingi mangavana measikana meti ndawa kuma muveane uwa kemsa makwata asia nusu sia mbesa ila maiva iyoka sienzele na kiuni chochonzete uiti va Kenya. Ingi kuyanana na seneta wa county ya Uasin Gishu Jackson Mandago ulona ingavana wa county kwa kilungu cha miaka 10 mutalatala waka na kemsa yeyoka niyo ikathowasia ndawa kwa silikali sia county wapitukithiwe ni mbunge amwe alama ya kalaanza amani ya uiti mbunge nenene tanzia imwe ya kuseuvya mbesa kwanzia sia ukengani na kuonze sivitali sia silikali va Kenya.
The constitution is very clear that health is a default function. 95%. Why 95% of the money is still in Ministry of Health, I have failed to understand to date. Some businessmen and crooked fellows in this country who want to make free money, quick money, and a lot of money, mountains and volumes of money, which they would not even spend for the rest of their life and will never add value to their lives, decided to connive with the National Assembly and pass a legislation that makes it compulsory for counties and all public hospitals to procure all drugs and pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals from KEMSA, whether KEMSA had capacity or no capacity. If I make an order of drugs worth 50 million and KEMSA is just able to supply me drugs worth 25 million, it tells you the drugs worth 25 million that are not able to supply will not be available in our public institution, and the public will always be complaining there are no drugs in public hospital. I read mischief in the whole of that process. The problem we have had in KEMSA is that most of the people doing business with KEMSA are actually members of parliament who sit in the Committee of Health.
Athukumi ma county ni mamatethesia ya kufikia ndoto ya ngavana na ni makuwa kimanza kinene cha budget ya county indi mabindamwe ni mamaete baluku county ni. Silikali sia county siosi athukumi amokuma silikali sia kanso kana local government aingi maathukumi maina kisomo na utuika wa kuyana kuthukuma silikali ni sia county indi kwena na miyao ya athukumi va Kenya governor ndesa kumabuta. Kitumi ni kima ngavana aingi nemethitwe na athukumi kubikia maana 5 matesa kutumika undu bailite na ingi moma yesa kunewa kisomo na mawia alama thukuma methewa matonda kubetangwa kana kuthukuma ni athukumi abuthu indi county siende ya kumaiva. Ingi mangavana nemethitwe na ibinda yomu kuukitana na athukumi manzebe kana ghost workers alama oneka hata manenga nae uthukumi kwa silikali sia county indi ubayundu meka.
Ministry of Health is paying a doctor, and in their records they know that this doctor is in Narok, yet the same doctor has opened a clinic in Eldoret and they live there and they are paying the salary. And we are sharing these stories. That's the reality. So when they say that this doctor is in Narok, they said Allah, but this guy has got a clinic in Eldoret. He always, I thought this guy is, yet he's being paid as a salary in Eldoret.
We took over staff from former local authorities. Now, this staff, and because of the labor laws, you can't sack them. So you have serious redundancies because of educational qualifications and so on. Some of them cannot even be retrained. So you may end up having about 500 staff that you can't deploy properly.
Kuyanana na mangavana amatene, mangavana nemethitwe maisimu kulika mulengo ni muna waki utati na maema maitumio mevya ya koti kuukitana na umamai kana ulusani kuukitwa. Ingi ukunikili wa utumi wa ilovia withito muno muno nthini wa silikali sia county ilesi na kimanza cha 15 yulwa na cha budget kilungu cha 85 kila kisilikali ni nene kiteo kunikilwa na ulusani uyende ya uteo kulwa muno.
There are so many governors who have to either join some political formation with their body while their heart is elsewhere because of persecution.
The overfocus in Kenya is just basically on 15% of resources going to go into counties. Even paying bills. I mean, you now find a lot of effort being put to force counties to pay. Yet the national government pending bill is more than $1 trillion. Nobody's talking about that. And nobody's penalizing them.
The level of corruption in counties is child play compared to the level of corruption in national government.
Which governor has been jailed? Which governor has been convicted? You know, those are things that are anti-development. They are things that are anti-devolution. You are only culpable when you have committed an offense. And when you commit an offense, you must have been executing it yourself. But you cannot draw the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, for example, on things that have been done by a permanent secretary. And that is what is happening in the counties. And that law has to be changed.
Let's also not use some of the national government agencies to distract and to settle scores that are meant to be settled politically.
Mangavana ni motongo kana CEO cia county alama masio twi ilo amondo kivathukanio makonete silikali cia county mabinda amwe ukumuona utumia waneme bia imoko so bilovia kwanzia cia ulusani kwenana na Okoth Obado ulona governor wa county ya Migori. Mangavana ni malasi methiwa kwekia sahi kukombwa miyo ya uiti ya mbesa mbingi matakuletwe miyo ilaita yetu na kutumika nthini wa uiti vala matendeka kuminene anai indi kumikwata mbau makiletie.
There's certain equipment that we are given, and most of them in the open market, you will get maybe a dialysis machine complete with this chair at say 1.2. But the least one you will get at 7 million. So eventually the counties were told, no, you must sign for it. We said, now, why do we sign if it is a grant? Why don't we sign for the roads, projects that are normally done by the national government in our counties? Just go ahead and give us. Then they told us, no, just sign for accountability. Little did we know that we were committing the counties to huge amounts of money. And these monies were being deducted at source. Our budgets could not be approved without that line of leased medical equipment. And it was a large amount that was decided by the national government. They decided to give us equipment that we had not requested. They decided for us. We are giving you this phone, take it. We are giving you this item, take it. And that one, even if you didn't have where to store it, it was being pushed through your throat, take it. This is an iPhone, which I can get, say, at 200 Kenya shillings. If I need it, I go to the shop. But here, you give it to me, and you tell me that you will be deducting 100,000 shillings from me for a period of 7 years, and you are not allowed. They don't want you to talk negatively about it. They just want you to support, and to them, that is not corruption.
Mubulano wa uthukumi kana duplication of roles wala silikali nene na sia account sio kwa na mawe mabwa nene ni kimwe katoa maundu ala monzete mutioko pamwana kwitho wa kilungu kinini chake na ndo no choke baadhi ya silikali sia account va Kenya.
I feel that there are other functions which are being performed by the national government that belong to the county government, and they are being budgeted for at the national level. So if you moved that money as is to the counties, they will be, and move those functions to the counties, like in the water sector, agriculture sector, you will find that counties will reach that level, that 5%, without any budget adjustment.
I would like the government of Kenya to trust devolution to be the most transformative agenda for this country, and hence give devolution more funds. You know, the devolved units more funds to follow the functions that are devolved.
And you see, Stephen, my definition of county roads. And I was very clear even to the Minister of Works. Any road which does not leave the county cannot be national government road. So this categorization of secondary roads was a very bad idea.
You find I do a borehole here, 100 meters away, there's another borehole being done by the water board. So there's a lot of duplication in the water sector.
Amuma mangavana ne masako wa mwanyani wa mwene kivila wa nzama ya magavana kana Council of Governors Chair kuungamia nzama ilethinikia ya maundu ma county na kukwatene na mevia ingile koneti silikali sia mutiuko. Uhu ni mwanya musio indi nutuma ngavana akwatana akaiwane vinda ya kuthuku maundu make kindu kila kitu wanya kumunenga vinda yumu enda kusakuwa ya kele tangavana. Ingi mavinda mwenzama ya mangavana ni yumasio utui ute na utui wa mwene kivila wayo ona uyovo mwene kivila wayo aila simika kutangasi ya Kenya utui usu ona kethe wande kukwata mbau.
It is very involving. And I used to see the way Isaac Ruto and the others, Kina Munya, and they became casualties. And it is very involving because you are mostly in Nairobi and other counties, and also sometimes overseas. One can be derailed as a chairman if you are not careful.
Sometimes I find I'm against what they have decided, but since they are the majority, I'll go out there on the press and say, this is what the CUG have decided, even if I'm against it. And you remember, once they told me you must close the counties because money has not been coming in for the last 4 months. So I did close. Actually, I announced that now on such a date we have closed the counties. And the Senate, Senate moved a special motion to discuss me for 3 hours. They called me all names, but I was just doing that on behalf of the Council of Governors, because that is a decision which had been arrived at the council meeting. So you can see some of those challenges.
Wea ni wa ungavana be kuumangwa na kunene wanai mitandaoni na methoni. Ngavana nongina ethiwe na ngombumu ya umesio na kuwekia. Ingi uya uundu ilaisi nongina ngavana eyumie na kubitia uthuko mimbe.
I think when I came in, when I used to look at social media, maybe someone attacking me or that I have not done this or even abusing me, I used to get very mad. But right now, I have appreciated that even criticism is part of politics, and I've accepted it. And in fact, nowadays, I think most of my critics feel bad because I don't react and they keep on abusing me, and I just look at them and I'm happy that these are my employers and I should accommodate all of them. It's not a walk in the park. You must be ready to serve the people. You must be ready to listen to each and every person.
Miaka kenda ni yathela yu kuma silikali sia mutiuko siambia kuthukuma va Kenya. County sionthe sia miongona na mwonza sia na maendeleo ma kuonekana metho maunduni ma uiti, malelo, uimi, kiuo, kisomo na maunduni yangi. Kwa mangavana alama likite kivilani KOU yambe ni vatonyeka. Steven Mwema, vilingi wa Mavo, va Mutongo TV.